Hi, and welcome to News from the Real World podcast. I'm Andrew.
I'm Kevin.
Caitlin.
And welcome to this podcast where we discuss articles that are posted every week by faculty here at Carnegie Mellon University on the CMU PTM blog spot. The address is at the bottom of your screen. If you'd like to check out any of the articles that we talk about here today, please feel free to visit. The first article we're going to talk about today is an article called All You Can Smile for Just $25. It's from the Butts in Seats blog. There's a guy, what's his name?
Joe Patty.
Joe Patty, right? This is his blog, and he writes about theater business stuff, mostly. And this particular article is about this new way that they're charging for theater, comedy theater in Spain, where they record how many laughs you have during the show and charge you about 30 cents per laugh, with a maximum, with a cap at $24, basically.
Yeah.
So they have face recognition.
Right.
But what if you're like wincing in pain? Isn't it kind of the same thing?
Well, we should explain. So what they do, they charge you 30 euro cents for each laugh, with a cap at like 24 euros, and so they track like what your face is doing during their performance and count the number of laughs, and then you have an account associated with your seat, and when you leave, you cough it up, I guess.
Right.
But that was something that I was wondering about too, like how what if your face is just sort of like.
Yeah, it almost then you
it just thinks like you're laughing. Maybe it tracks.
Or uncomfortable laughter. That was my question, because I laugh all the time. Like I'm really
Or
upset.
I think that's the thing that if you I was thinking how difficult this would be for performers.
Yeah.
Because it's hard enough to do comedy. Not that I would know, actually performing it.
You're
funny.
you're totally.
Well, I know that.
You're being really nice.
But I mean, it's hard to do. A lot of audiences are really charitable when it comes to comedy. Like I saw the Groundlings in LA,
Right.
and it was like an off night, but I still laughed a lot because you want them to be funny.
Mhm.
But if you're being charged for enjoying a show,
Right.
Yeah.
you just be like. But I mean, so that makes it harder for the performers. But I think God, what an amazing challenge that would be.
Mhm.
And if you actually you push yourself that much harder to get people engaged.
Right.
Right.
I think I would just wear a mask.
That's a great idea.
Right. I just get in my seat and quietly put on my mask.
That's not allowed.
Well, but how are they gonna know?
Like, how would they know?
Anyway, it's a really
It's
interesting.
extremely expensive though. That's another thing I
Right.
was thinking. They instituted this because there's the government of Spain introduced an entertainment tax, and so attendance at shows just plummeted, and so theaters started doing this thing where they charge you for laughter, but outfitting every seat.
But
with,
they said they made money.
I know.
28 grand. Yeah, 28 grand. I wonder how much the system costs to install. So if it's 28 grand,
Although it does say $28,000 euros. So what does that mean?
$28,000 euros.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what it says.
the euro. I guess the euro is doing not as well against the dollar, but still probably pretty good.
I'm just saying.
Who knows?
What the hell does that mean?
I
Okay.
know,
So-
a lot of money.
yeah, then maybe there are other ways that this could be. The big question obviously is how do you do this with tragedy? Do you pay by the tier?
Right.
that's-
You
it's
collect them in cups. It's like one of those, one of those hats
beer
with
hats?
with the two
Cool.
straws, and but instead it's two little cups down here.
That's
and
a
you
very
collect
good
your
idea.
tears.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems a little. I hope that we're not so jaded that this is what we have to do. You pay for a ticket to go see theater, not just because you're expecting to have the best time of your life. You're paying for it to be brought and challenged, and maybe you won't like it, but that's just as good as liking it in a lot of ways. So
Right. At least
I hope we're
it's
not
something.
quite this cynical yet, where it's all about your dollar's worth of laughs.
Do you
Right.
think it's about cynicism though, or is it just getting if you don't like something, you don't have to pay for it?
Yeah, I think that was the idea, or that was sort of.
I think
what
it's
this
cynical
offer
that
said.
what I think is cynical is thinking that the only way that you can get something out of something is by enjoying it.
Yeah.
That's why.
Right. But maybe you shouldn't have to pay for it that way. Maybe that's what
Yeah.
your point is.
Totally.
I sat there. And
Let's-
that's
I mean,
was
if
my
I go to
favorite.
a comedy, this is very specific to comedy. If I go to a comedy show and I don't laugh, not because I'm
You're
trying
not
to be,
drinking
not
enough.
because I'm
That's
trying to be
the
a dick. Yeah,
It's true.
I either need some more shots.
That's right, guys.
All right, so next we've got Phil.
Next we've got Phil. We've got Phil Hedema.
What about Phil?
What about Phil? It's an article called "The Basics of Storytelling Remain the Same as Technology Evolves" by Morgan Richardson from InParkMagazine.com, and the article was about essentially what the title has already explained. The basics of storytelling remain the same as technology
No matter what.
evolves. Which, you know, sure, it's an interview between Phil Hedema and Morgan Richardson of InPark Magazine. And Hedema he sort of heads the, I don't know why I said sort of, he does head the Hedema Group, specializing in uniquely creative design. This is in air quotes, right? Uniquely creative design for theme parks, museums, and cultural attractions. So he's like a theme parks person.
He's like an Imagineer.
Right, he used to work for Walt Disney, and now he has his own thing
Yeah.
where he's basically doing that.
He did like the Adventures of Spider-Man at Disney World or
Right.
wherever that is.
Yeah, and I think
He's also
his...
doing a Hello Kitty theme park.
He's also doing a Hello Kitty theme park, which we're all very excited about.
It's in China
So
though.
excited.
We're ready.
Everything's in
I don't even like Hello Kitty. It looks really cool
That's
though.
impossible.
So basically, his point is right that even though that it's a bad idea to just try to incorporate the new thing all the time.
Yeah,
right?
that shouldn't
they're-
be the point.
Mhm.
Because he's like, that'll lead to dated theater, dated work, whatever. Not theater, dated theme parks, I guess. But dated stories. If your whole point was like, look at this new camera, then like, okay, well, we'll go there in 20 years and that's
Yeah.
not cool anymore.
It seemed a slightly less like well put together argument than say like Aristotle's argument, right? Like so this isn't
What do
really.
you mean?
Well,
Let's put together the
Well,
one-
I mean, when you think of like the canon, it's like Aristotle, Plato, Hedema.
Right.
Well,
Phil Hedema.
my point being that like that there are lots of other kind of structures around which to build like a story.
Sure.
And I don't know if I would be. I'm not as interested in what Phil has to say as against say Aristotle. The
Yeah.
unities, the four unities or whatever there are. So.
I agreed with what he was saying though.
Okay.
Basically.
Yeah.
I mean, he was basically saying like, don't use technology as a gimmick. Like, don't use a technology because you think it would be cool. Like,
And this
use
from
it,
the media
use it
designer.
That's-
well, use it in service of the story.
Right.
Like have it like make sure it's motivated.
Mhm.
Which is weird because his like the work that the Hedema Group does seems mostly about
Pretty
spectacle.
candy.
What
Pretty
about-
candy.
Sort of, yeah, and like gee whiz technology and
Right.
Mhm.
So there we
Well,
are.
I mean, what else?
I don't know. though.
What else are you
I've
gonna do
never
with
seen
Hello
the
Kitty?
I've never seen the Adventures of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I haven't been to the Hello Kitty theme park.
Not
yet.
yet.
But
Waiting
I,
on that.
We're so close. We're
Okay,
almost
last
there.
in this session, we've got your favorite article
I'm excited
of
about
the
this one.
week.
I'm excited too.
So, do you want to go ahead and introduce it for us?
Yeah, this is an article on Polestar, and it's called Really Quiet Concerts.
Really
And-
quiet concerts.
Yeah.
I thought that's what it said. There's no comedy. in there.
You're
Sorry.
Really?
just gonna add
Yeah.
layers.
It's about this. Well, it kind of focuses on this company called Silent Events, which is a company founded by Ryan Dowd, and they trade in doing live music events with headphones.
Mm-hmm.
They make the headphones, right? They make
the
Bluetooth
headphones.
and the transceiver.
Yeah, they do like they make the technology that does like the wireless transmission to all the headphones.
So, what are the kids doing with this?
Well, he's talking. Well, so it started, I guess, as a sort of one-off thing at Bonnaroo, where they, piped in audio from like a line into the board from the stage, and then sent it out wirelessly to all the headphones. And I guess like they've done events where you can. There's like 3 DJs all mixing in one room, and you can like tune into like the different channels that they're on, and like your headphones change color based on what channel you're on. So, I guess maybe it's like a new thing. I don't know. I have some strong.
These kids in the picture look like they're having
They
an
look like
awfully
they're having
good
a great time.
So much fun.
Awfully good time.
So much fun.
Okay,
Can I just say
Yeah.
that this is exactly like, and we were talking this before, if you've ever seen the movie Josie and the Pussycats.
I thought you were going to say Cocoon,
If
because this
you've ever
reminds me
seen
of
the movie
Cocoon.
Cocoon, well, you can. Your turn is next.
Okay.
I'm just teasing, but Josie and the Pussycats, a seminal work, where all these kids are brainwashed by putting on these headphones that have cat ears on them,
Hmm.
which is what by Parker Posey's character.
Are you
So he's
concerned about that?
genius. And I'm concerned about Parker Posey.
Well, I mean, the thing, like, okay,
I'm not
so
concerned.
in
Just
Josie
thought
and the
it was
Pussycats,
interesting.
though, Josie and the Pussycats was still playing live, like, and there was sound
But
for, like,
is-
everybody.
Isn't
So-
that one of the potential applications of this? Or it
Yeah,
has
to
be
brainwash
DJ?
people?
No.
To have
No,
fun
no,
live
live
thing. They
music.
have done it. They said at Treasure Island, the
No, no.
Treasure Island Festival.
Well,
in
I know
San
they're
Francisco.
playing live, but I mean, it just, so, I could see this maybe being, okay, in a place where, like, it's too loud for you to hear anything anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I mean, you know, and I love wearing headphones. I wear headphones all the time. Whenever I'm walking, I'm always listening to something. But who wants to wear headphones at a party all night? That seems stupid. Like, I mean, you're sort of like, you're closed off. You know, I think the
Yeah.
magic of like a live event with live music and like getting everybody together in one room is like just being like immersed in the sound
Sure.
together. It's like a collective experience. And there's a difference between that and having this sort of singular experience of like wearing headphones and all listening to the same thing, but your little headphones in just a big group.
Right. Especially if they're three different things. That for me was what
Yeah.
was very weird.
I'd like to observe people doing this, just because I think it would be.
looks so. That's what I was
really
thinking
funny.
too. It must be so crazy to
Yeah.
watch a room full of people in silence, just going, and just hearing
Not
like the
that our dances were
shuffling.
very similar.
Yeah.
We had the same channel.
So, I mean, I don't know. What are some? Were we gonna think about like events or something that we might put on? Is this a thing? Like, actually, I mentioned Cocoon because the geriatric community. This would be a really great thing.
Sure.
I think like. I can picture my mom like going to an actual rock concert now. Like
Yeah.
if she got to
Yeah.
choose her volume,
Yeah.
like because she doesn't. Although I don't know what rock concert she'd go to, so that's a little ridiculous. But
Right.
point being, at least like you have a little bit more control over your own experience, and
Yeah.
especially like being able to switch between the DJ thing and mix. I couldn't tell if you
Doesn't
could
like
mix. I certainly whatever. This is not my thing. I don't go to nightclubs, but I can see how it might be interesting to like kind of add your own touch of creativity, if you can call it that, to your experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, I've been talking a lot.
No, no. All I was gonna say was that the only interesting thing about this for me in particular, like specifically, or the only reason I could see it being something you want to do is the noise complaint thing. Like you could have a party,
Yeah.
a loud party, and
You know,
not get it broken.
abandoned warehouse or
It
something.
seems like
Sure.
such a practical
But
concern.
that's what I mean.
Like,
I think like it would be useful
There's-
practically, but like I agree with you, and I don't think that I want to. If I'm in a party, like in a group situation, I want to experience this with
Right.
everybody. I don't want to experience it like this because I could do that at home.
and like
Well-
part of the charm is like hearing the conversation and like
Right.
not hearing everybody's speech shuffling around. And like, you know, as one who frequents, you know, clubs and I like dance music a lot and I like dancing, you know, as soon as like I've seen like as soon as the lights come on, like someone accidentally like hits the lights up or something, or like, you know, like the music cuts out, like you see like how drastically that completely changes the energy in the room.
Yeah.
And like so for that to just like happen just by going like this seems like such a
Right.
downer.
Right.
You know?
Well, I think Silent Events has, it's a great thing that they've patented this because as much as we might not like it, these kids on the picture certainly
love it.
love
I
it.
think they're loving it.
And I bet there's going to be lots more.
I'm
in
sure
the
they're at
future.
Bonnaroo. I'm sure they're having a great time.
Thank you for watching this first session. We'll be back for another segment right after a short break. Please join us.
I have no idea how long the break is.
It's true. I just say that to so they can picture us.
I had a lot more to say,